This is the SCHF1SM from SCHRADE survival knife. I've got that fit on this pole to make it into a spear. The tighter you put this on, the more you're going to fill these grooves here in the hollow handle. So that is a really good option for a survival type knife, and that's what this was built for. This is constructed out of one solid piece of 1070 high carbon steel. It's a plain blade, means no serrations. It has a bigger version of this with serrations in the blade here. I don't like serrations in a bushcraft knife. It also comes with this little screwdriver set that unattaches, and you can put whatever you want in the handle here. Although for urban survival, this is actually a pretty neat little set. There's your bits here. You can change those bits up with other ones that you have, and makes a nice little screwdriver actually. And a lot of people thought, you know, why? But it's all kinds of survival. There's woodsman survival, there's urban survival. This would come in pretty handy in urban survival. Now, it's 1070, and I was told by SCHRADE that this here is an extremely strong knife. So I'm going to put it through its normal paces, what I would do with a survival knife. I like the hollow handle part, just because I could fashion it to a spear if I needed to. And as well, it gives you options to carry such different items and such in the handle. Now, it has a textured grip here that gives you some, you know, grip and such, but it also, you know, over long-term chopping or something like that there, it could be rough on the hands, that's for sure. But you need it on there, otherwise it just slip out of your hand. Comes with this lanyard. Actually, the lanyard's perfect size for me. I've done a little bit of chopping with it to chop at that, and I'll show you how it chops. So you can see it chops pretty good, and for a survival knife I want it to be able to chop so I can make shelters. So that's a big plus in my book. Now chopping that, I could already feel in here just from scraping down, because I usually hold my knife with a loose grip when I'm chopping, and if I tighten up my grip I wouldn't have had that problem, but I usually let it, you know, just go like this here in my hand, just move so it gets more snap to it. So if I just grab it normal, it doesn't do that. But, you know, then it's all brunt power, but it doesn't hurt my hand that way. Now, as for fine carvings, it cuts really well. But bite trade in works really nice. So it's not, you know, the size, it's a heavy knife, but the weight of it, it's an alright chopper kind of deal. But I mean, it's not a great chopper, but it will get the job done if need be. So that's a good thing for a survival knife. Now, let's see if you can make traps with this, because that's another area I would like to be able to do, is doing notches and such with this knife. Here's another really good use for birch bark. It's waterproof, so if I find a big sheet, like I just found this one on the ground, I'll put it down so I can put my knee on it. Since it's waterproof, I don't get a wet knee. So let's see what we can do with this thing. Yeah, notch is pretty good. I'm happy with that. I'll be able to make traps with that and such. It cuts well this way. I think it's time to see what how it does with batoning and feather sticking. Now this has a 5.6 inch blade, so you're not going to baton real big stuff, but you want an inch or so overhang, so you're going to be able to do 3 inch, possibly 4 inch stock. This is also has a drop point, so if you only have an inch, you're going to hit here and it's going to fly off as well. But this here, I just cut this off, and this is stuff that I would normally baton and make into kindling and such. And when you're out there in a survival situation, you don't test your knife unless you absolutely have to. I mean, you stick to smaller stuff if you can, because the risk of breaking it is a lot less. So we have this here. Let's check out the feather sticking. And whenever you do feather sticks, it's also to do with basically the the wood as well as the knife. I'm trying to take fine curls with this. As you can see, it's feather sticking fine. It's breaking off though, but that's just because of the wood, like I say. But as for feathers, it's doing a really good job. So that tells me there I can process wood for fire. So that's a plus for sure. Now I can cover my processing wood so my fire needs. I can do traps because I can do notches and stuff. It will cut down saplings for building shelter, and it will trim branches as well. They're just, up to finger size and such. And so I know that so far this is working out pretty good. It cuts really well as well. So now let's go over the sheath real quick. Here it is in the sheath. It's a nylon ballistic sheath with a plastic insert for the knife to ride into. It's not formed, so you can actually put it either side, left or right-handed, which is a good option. The clip here has a piece of Velcro for adjusting. I usually, as soon as I get them, I usually cut that off right there so it gives me more room, and adjust it to what I want and cut off the excess myself. Now, it has a release here with a Velcro closure that you can take it on and off a belt without taking your belt off. You just slip that in under and then fold it over, and that's what holds it. So it's a release type belt loop. Now on the back here you have a strap here that goes over top of these. And what this is, it's a pouch that is removable, and it actually has a belt loop here as well that you can wear this on your belt. It comes empty. it's Velcroed on here as well. So how you do this is you stick that on with the Velcro. Of course, I want to get that just right. There we go. I'll wrap these around here and I'll close it over. Same thing as this one. Then this just goes over top and fastens like that. There you go. Now it's not going nowhere. Now, also comes with a leg tie or extra cordage if you need it. But in here, what I did with this, it has this buckle first off, and it has a Velcro latch here, or a fixture that will keep it closed. Now what I got in here is a SCHRADE ferro rod, and my Leatherman Wave fit perfectly in this pouch. So if you have the Leatherman plus this knife, you have a lot of options for a survival complete kit kind of deal for urban or out in the bush. So actually, let's see what the spine is on like this knife for striking a ferro rod. This does not come with a ferro rod. Like I said, I took this out of another SCHRADE knife, but it's not the sharpest, but it will work. Found a lot of times down by the choil here. Yeah, that definitely works. So the spine isn't really designed for striking a ferro rod, I guess. It's sharp, but it will work in a pinch, but it's also why I have the striker. Now all I did was just scratch up my knife. You can see that some of the finish is wearing just from that little bit of batoning. There's no chips in the blade or anything like that there, but I didn't baton a whole lot, and that finish is already wearing. I have this finish on some other knives, and it holds up pretty well, but you can see that that's starting to already start to wear. So overall, I think this is going to make a nice survival knife. I'm going to take it as a sole knife on a few of my camping trips and test it out more. And then I'll do another video telling you what my thoughts are about this after some testing. Have a good one, and I'll leave a link down below where you may be able to check this out more, and I'll leave the stats in the end. Have a good one.